Good morning, everyone. I'm just going to wait for you guys to tune in. Good morning, Instagram. Good morning, Facebook. I should have put a title today because I have a really good title. I wonder if it's too late for me to put a title in Instagram. But today, I'm talking about getting a green card through marriage without an interview. So, this is a good topic. So, have your friends join in because we're going to be discussing strategy and all of that. Good morning, everyone. Hope you guys had a happy Thanksgiving. Um, okay, I don't have a lot of time, so I'm going to just jump right into it. Let me first start by saying, this is not a guarantee of what is going to happen in your case. If you have a marriage based case, this is not something that I know for a fact is going to give you an interview. I mean, give you a green card without an interview. However, we're seeing a lot of our clients who have marriage based cases get approved without an interview. This has been happening for us, I would say, since the beginning of either November or end of October. And there's certain things that, I've taken a note of that is happening. So I just want to share share strategy basically of what I'm noticing myself again. I'm not saying that, if you get an interview, you're going to get denied or everybody must be bypassed for an interview. I know that I'm going to repeat this like several times, but somebody else is going to come in my comment and say something, nonsensical. Again, even if you get an interview, it is nothing to worry about, as long as you have your ducks in a row and you have, everything that you need to be approved, right? And you have a legitimate marriage. However, because of USCIS just trying to expedite a lot of this backlog, people that have really strong applications are getting bypassed and getting approved without the interview. So, tip one, the first thing is, of course, you have to be legally married. You cannot have a common law marriage in a country that it's not legal in the US to be married. You have to have a divorce that's proper. I know a lot of people have been asking on some of my comments, like, what is a proper divorce? A proper divorce means that it is legally accepted in the place of divorce, that is a proper divorce. Because sometimes some people will give you a divorce decree that says the person is divorced, and when you take it to USCIS, or you look at USCIS reciprocity schedule, it says this is not a valid divorce. So before you enter into a new marriage, you have to make sure that you're free to enter into that marriage. The second thing is you have to prove good faith marriage and that your marriage is bona fide. This is what trips people up the most. Good faith marriage and your marriage is bona fide. When I tell people, what you have, like, to show the legitimacy of your marriage, like they have a good faith marriage, people always say, oh, well, I have a marriage certificate. That proves absolutely nothing. Anybody can go get a marriage certificate and get married, but it doesn't mean that you have a good faith marriage. It is really important that when you're sending your application, that you don't just send forms, just because you're in a hurry to get like a work permit or whatever. It's important that you build your application strategically. Some of those things includes your relationship, documenting your relationship. For a lot of people who are newlyweds, they may not have a lot of stuff, depending on when they're filing after they got married, but then dig into the stuff that you've had pre-marriage, right? So, like, let me use an example of a couple. This couple, it took them about maybe like was this 5 months from when we put in the application for them to get approved for their green card. And at that time, they had only been married for when we submitted the application, they had only been married for 3 months. So even though they had only been married for 3 months, they had that initial lease together, but they also had a lot of stuff to document their relationship previous to the marriage, including trips they had taken, places they had been to, how much they call each other on FaceTime, call logs, call history. Like those are all things that you can use to show relationship. So let's say you didn't move in with your spouse until you got married and you're filing right after, so your name is not on the lease. You should have call logs of you chit-chatting with your spouse all the time. And I don't need anybody coming in here telling me, I don't like to talk on the phone or whatever it is. You need to talk to your spouse, like, or your fiance or your girlfriend, your boyfriend, you need to talk to them. Call logs are good to send. And I'm specifically focusing right now on people who have very short, they've just married, so they don't have as much evidence, You want to make sure you're sending those things. If you've ever sent money to each other, you want to make sure that you're, sending those things. If you things that are easy, like if you guys share cell phone bills, you may not share car insurance if the other person doesn't drive or doesn't have a social security number, but cell phone bills. If your spouse have a job, you have like 30 days. Is it 30 days? I think you have 30 days for a qualifying life event for your spouse to put you on their insurance, right? That's put the immigrant on their insurance so that they can also be listed. If you are someone who's fortunate enough to have a social security number, an ITIN number, file taxes with your spouse, right? If you guys had a big wedding, notice I said big weddings. When I mean big wedding, meaning that you had guests, you had more than like 10 people at your wedding, send those pictures. Those pictures carry a lot of weight. When you send pictures, you guys went to the courthouse, you and them got married, and there's one witness for each person. That's great and all. And it doesn't mean that your marriage is not legitimate, but it's not a strong evidence of the legitimacy of your marriage, because most fortunate marriages are going to have just a scanty amount of people. But when you spend money to have a wedding and a wedding reception. Shout out to Portia and Real Housewives. I don't know if you guys saw her wedding this weekend with Simon Gubadia. Speaking of large weddings, sorry guys, I just sidetracked. But if you have a big wedding, you definitely want to post, send those. You want to send those. You want to post those. I know there's some people that are like, we don't like to be on social media, whatever the case may be. If you don't want to be on social media, that's fine. Then you have to find other ways to document your relationship that shows that other people know about your relationship. Then you also want to send credible affidavits of support. And I'm not talking about the financial affidavit of support for sponsorship. I'm specifically talking about people who know you guys, who have interacted with you guys. Please do not go submitting a generic application letter saying, "Oh, I know Jane and John. They have a wonderful marriage and their life is going to be wonderful and they're going to have a lifetime of happiness together forever." No, you want to talk about some critical things, how you know them, when you've interacted with them, and what your perception of them is. But, it should never be cookie cutter. You should never have two people have verbatim, basically the same template of affidavits, that you're sending. So those are some examples of things for newlyweds, especially, to submit. And then of course you must, before all of this started happening, I was always of the school of thought, just take your medical with you, like your medical exam with you to the interview. But because the interviews are being bypassed, just do your medical as well. And with your medical, in order for you to do your medical right now, you have to have your COVID vaccination, the first and second one. So if you've been delaying on that and the green card is important to you and it's just something that you're just delaying on, just do it, just so that you can get your medical and you can submit it. Now, when we get into people that have been married for more than a year, 2 years, 3 years, the stakes are much higher, in that case. Like, they're looking, because you can't come with just a lot of this stuff from pre-marriage and say this is all you guys have. They're looking to see true cohabitation. They're looking to see how you guys are filing your taxes. Sorry guys, I'm moving left and right because today I have like one screen on another over there and the other one here. So they're looking to see cohabitation. They're looking to see bills that are paid together. They're looking for a mortgage. They're looking for a lease. They're looking for a sublease. They're looking for some people who have businesses together. They form an LLC together. Some people have children together. Some people travel together. Some people spend Thanksgiving, Christmas, with other family members. Guys, like sending pictures of just you and your spouse, like solos, like kissing each other, like staged pictures, it's absolutely irrelevant. Like it holds no weight. Like it literally holds no weight. Like I will tell you, like even at my firm, like I literally remove them from the packets because to me it's like this is staged. Like give me some real pictures of you guys doing live. Now, if you guys spend money and you're like Disney World, Universal Studios, and somebody's taking a picture of you guys together, that makes sense. Not you guys in front of a parking lot, like hugging and kissing. Like that means nothing. That does not prove your marriage is legitimate. Like, so, from a strategic standpoint, you have to show pictures that show that you're doing life together. You're expending your money together to do things that are meaningful to you guys. Some people say, oh, I don't have a social security, so I can't travel, right? You don't have to fly. You guys can take road trips. Every state has probably like some sort of like, fun stuff to do. I think most states do. So go to the neighboring state. Go 2 states away. You can drive 3 hours away. Just show that you're doing life together. And then also of course submit your medical. And then for those of you who don't live together, because we've also gotten some of those approved, you really want to show the reason why you're not in the same state and that it is a valid reason. Okay? I'm going to give you 1 or 2 examples that's a valid reason. Let's say you're somebody who is an H-2B worker, because I know there are a lot of H-2B folks on my live. So let's say you're someone who's an H-2B worker and maybe you're stationed and your job is in Utah. And with H-2B, for those who don't know, sometimes the job moves you from state to state to state, right? And then let's say you're married, so you're in Utah right now for the next 6 months or whatever, and you have a spouse that lives in Georgia, so in that case, it is a very plausible argument to make, to say that because my job moves me from state to state, and I don't want to run afoul of the immigration laws, meaning I don't want to violate my immigration laws because I am here in an H-2B. I am going to follow the rules and not go rogue on my H-2B. And for my spouse who lives in Georgia, it makes absolutely no sense for him or her to leave their secure job in Georgia and move with me to this state for 6 months and move with me to another state for 6 months and move with me another state for 6 months. So it makes more sense that once I get my status as a green card holder, we can then live in the same state because then we can place basically our roots somewhere. I don't know if you guys are following me. If you're following me, put a halo to see you understand what I'm saying. So that is an example of when you have a long distance relationship and you're able to explain it and why that makes sense. And the thing also when you're dealing with immigration is that you leave nothing for interpretation, and what I mean by that of leaving nothing for interpretation is that if you attitude has a halo, yeah, you guys know what I'm saying. Okay. If you look through an application, if I'm looking through your application and I have a question, meaning it is not 100% clear to me the answer of that question, that has left room for interpretation. So I don't know if you understand it. Now let me think of a good example. Right? Okay, so if somebody tells me, this is a very good one actually. If someone tells me, oh, me and my spouse, we live together, everything is, is good. We live together. We've been living together. And then the proof you send me, sounds like you're killing it, pretty lady. Thank you. I'll get to your question after this. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is a juicy topic. I wish I had more time today on my live because I'm almost done. Okay, so let's say, you're like, oh, me and my spouse, we live together, everything is good. and then I ask you for evidence, and then you send me evidence, right? And I'm looking through your text messages because you know you've given me text messages because you're showing me, look at how much time we talk to each other during the day, which is plausible because I will tell you, like, me and my husband, we literally work next door to each other, but we text the entire day, so it's plausible, right? However, the entire text message is saying, "Hey, good morning. Did you sleep okay? You know, oh, how's everything going with you today? What did you guys do today?" When I read that, my first question is, do you not live in the same house? If you live in the same house, you're not going with, "Hey, good morning." The text is like, "Oh, I gotta tell you what happened today. Oh, let me share this link with you." So that is the difference, and I hope you guys, I'm trying to go fast because I know I don't have time. So, that is an example of something that leaves room for interpretation that will leave an officer to say, well, why are you sending text messages to this person as though you guys don't live in the same house? You know? So you can't just send things arbitrarily when you're submitting petitions to immigration. You have to think about what you're sending. Is this stuff confusing? Can I clarify? You know, Even down to highlighting. When we send applications, gosh, guys, my nails are so horrible. I just got back from Arkansas, did not get a chance to get my nails done, so don't judge me. But anyway, if like when people come to us, like if I have a question, then USCIS has a question, about it. And when I have a question and I have the answer to the question, we will write the explanation right there and then and highlight in red because you never make an assumption that USCIS knows what you're thinking or knows what's happening in your marriage. So, well, this is the reason why you should be using a lawyer in the first place, because your lawyer or the law firm should be clarifying with you when something doesn't add up to get a clarification or an understanding or an explanation, because that explanation needs to be in your application to reduce questions. So, yes, when you submit stuff like that, you make it very easy for you to get approved. That literally is the bottom line. That's the long and short of it. There's no magic formula to it. This is just what they call opportunity meets preparation. Listen, guys, we don't know how long this is going to last. Let me tell you, you know, I've been a lawyer for a long time. I've been in the world of immigration, just even through my own family, for a long time. And I'm telling you, like, the fact that people are getting approved for a marriage-based case without interviews, this, like, at this rate, this is not the norm. And what I'm trying to tell when I say you don't know how long this is going to last is because with every presidential election comes a great shift in immigration. Make no mistake. You guys know that we're still recovering from the I-944 well test, and public charge rule that was implemented by the previous administration. TikTok, meaning a new election is about to happen. So if you qualify, do not dilly-dally. If you have all the things it takes for you to be a green card holder right now, do it right now, do it the right way, hire an attorney who knows what they're doing and get your stuff done. But when you hire an attorney, don't just hire an attorney and say, okay, I'm going to rest my head, so everything is okay. You have to provide those things. If you don't provide those things, then you most likely have an interview. Again, having an interview is not necessarily a bad thing. It's just that a lot of people that fail in getting their green card fail at the interview stage. Go ask that. Go ask any lawyer or go ask any of the people that you know who have failed in getting their green card when they failed. A lot of people, that is the stage they failed. So if you hire a credible person who knows what they're doing and provide all these things and dig into your archives and take your stuff seriously, and then I'm speaking specifically to you guys who are US citizens, green card holders on here, right now, a lot of times, especially when you're a US citizen and you've never been through the process, or, you became a US citizen through naturalization, it's been a long time, take this stuff seriously. because it is literally what separates you and your spouse. Take it seriously. And if your spouse is saying, we need this, for us to be successful, for me to get my green card, so we can travel together, so we can build a life together, so we can have the potential to increase our income together, do it. If you love that person and you want your marriage to work. So that's that. I'm going to say on that. I'm going to see how many questions I can take real quickly. And before I get into the questions, just to remind you guys, you only have until tomorrow to take 20% off your legal fees. This will most likely apply to those of you who have already had a consult with us here, or you have a consult today or tomorrow. After tomorrow, you don't get 20% off. So it's 20% off your qualified legal fee and 10% off different depending on the payment arrangement. So if you're someone that has a consult and qualified for something, definitely call us today, tomorrow at the very latest to see, if you'll be able to get that. All right. Let me answer questions. Someone says, do you do payment plans? Yes, we do, depending on the case type and the amount. Okay, what other good questions we have here? This person said, Teddy said, didn't even notice until you mentioned it. She's talking about my nails. Yeah, my nails look a hot mess. Okay. Let's see. So Annie says, I called USCIS on the non-receipt of notice for I-485 application submitted on September 23rd, 2002, and it was advised requested by the lockbox and no address. I sent the application to Vermont Center. Yeah, you're not going to get it through lockbox, because if you're saying it was sent to Vermont Center, I'm assuming that you're a valid applicant. There's no way that you're going to get it through a phone call. You actually have to send a letter to Vermont or have your attorney reach out through the attorney hotline. That's the only way to get that done. Okay. All right. Let's see. Alton says, I can only take 2 more questions and then I got to jump. I submitted my documents in May. I did biometrics in June and nothing more from that. Your question is too vague. I don't know what documents you submitted and what you're waiting for. So I'll need more to do that. Martini says, do you do pro bono? Yes, I do pro bono. And we actually picked a pro bono winner this year for our 10 days of giving. Okay. If I'm out of status and I got a house with a full payment, can I get a green card? No. Basically, you're trying to say that if you purchase a house full cash, right, that instead of getting like a mortgage, you paid cash? No. The way that works is, I'm just going to touch very quickly on this because I don't do business immigration, is you're talking about an investment visa. In order for you to do EB-5, you have to invest a significant amount of money. You have to at least be willing to employ at least 10 people in the United States. So we're talking about $1 million, 1.8 million, depending on where you are. But a business immigration lawyer can direct you. That's how basically it has to be a functioning business. That's how you get it. One more question and I gotta jump off. If I married here before my divorce papers came out back in my country, do I need to remarry, and what is the process? If I married here before my divorce, well, you should speak to your a local family lawyer in your state. They will tell you what the marriage rules in your state are. But basically, if you're not divorced and you're married in the U.S., it's a general consensus that that marriage is not legal. Now, what you need to find out from your local family law attorney is, what is the process? Do you do an annulment? Or, is there a retroactive rule? Because some states have retroactive rule, but, I don't do family law, so I don't want to give legal advice on marriages and divorces. So you can confirm there. Sorry, guys. I know that, I didn't have a lot of time today. This week has been crazy. Like, I've just had so many USCIS interviews. So it's just really hard to come on live. I know I have another one tomorrow, but if I'm able to come on live sometime on Thursday, I just don't know what time. I will try my best, on Friday. It's just during the holidays, for whatever reason, during the holidays, we get a lot of interviews, which is a bit annoying because, people want to spend time, with their family, but, it's what it is. But I hope you guys have a great day, and I will talk to you all later. Bye.